We got some breaking news in the NFL. Former Giants Pro Bowl cornerback James Bradberry staying in the NFC East. What more can you tell us, and what type of fit is this?
It's a great fit for James Bradberry. Defense, obviously they have Darius Slay on one side, and they had been trying to figure out the other corner position for some time. And Move did a great job in the draft, has done a great job so far in free agency, and this is yet another piece of evidence of that.
It causes me a lot of pain to show up in front of you guys and praise one of my NFC East adversaries yet again, but it seems like every single team in the NFC East has gotten better, except for my favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. And today we're going to be discussing the Philadelphia Eagles, who have taken some swings of their own, but since so much craziness has happened in the offseason, no one's really talking about it. And ultimately, they put the cherry on top of their roster very, very recently with the signing of another remarkable cornerback. Now, before we get to the content, we're giving away $500 in total to some of my Twitter followers at Mikerophone NFL. I'm also going to EDC this weekend, so look for my totem thing of my logo if you guys want to come meet up with me. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! This video is sponsored by Manscaped. Now, you guys know I absolutely love Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0. I use it on a bi-weekly basis in my gym shower, but don't tell the custodian that. And it's the best beard and body trimmer for any man. Mainly because the trimmer has cutting-edge skin-safe technology to ensure that you don't get any nicks or pulls while you're manscaping. It has a 4K LED light so you could see where you're manscaping. And with Father's Day coming up, it is the perfect gift to get your dad. But in addition to this, I was always a fan of Manscaped's Boxers 1.0. So when I saw that they released a Boxers 2.0, I got so freaking excited. These are the most comfortable boxers I've ever worn in my entire life. I mean, just like look at the boxers. They're so luxurious in terms of like how they look. But honestly, more important than anything, these are so freaking comfortable to wear. I'm especially excited because I'm going to a music festival this weekend, and they sent me these right in time for the music festival. And when you're standing on your feet for like 11 to 12 hours, having boxers to make sure that you don't chafe and that you're comfortable with so you can enjoy yourself is so freaking important. It has stitchless inner pouch support with a spaciously designed outer pouch, which makes it roomy yet supportive once you're wearing it. It's the perfect gift to get either for yourself or for Father's Day. And right now, when you use my promo code FLIGHT, you get yourself 20% off on Manscaped products. Just use my promo code FLIGHT when you're checking out at manscaped.com. And thank you, Manscaped, for the sponsorship.
How you doing? What up, man? Yes, sir. Yeah, I got you. Yes, sir, man. That's all. All right, good. What's up, bro?
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I've said in the past that there's been a lot of good off seasons. I mean, from the Denver Broncos trading for Russell Wilson and stealing Randy Gregory essentially from the Dallas Cowboys, which resulted in the AFC West's arms race, where we saw the Los Angeles Chargers trade for Khalil Mack and sign JC Jackson and Sebastian Joseph Day. Next thing you know, the Las Vegas Raiders are trading for Devontae Adams and signing Chandler Jones. And then you see the Kansas City Chiefs making some bold decisions like trading Tyreek Hill for a large sum of draft capital and using that draft capital to find maybe a replacement for Tyreek Hill, but in addition to that, investing in their defense even more so. And that's just the AFC West. We talked about the New Orleans Saints being able to completely retool their wide receiver core, trading up for Chris Olave with the number 11 pick in the NFL draft, recently signing Jarvis Juice Landry. And honestly, if the New Orleans Saints are able to sign Smoke Monday to a fully guaranteed deal, then I give them an A+ for this offseason. And that's before we get to the Cleveland Browns and them being able to trade for Deshaun Watson. Yes, it's one hell of a swing paying a player 5 years and $230 million guaranteed after the amount of draft picks they gave up in the trade for him, but those are just the most highest profile off seasons that we've seen so far. Some of the more under the radar off seasons are teams that are actually trying to rebuild. I mean, we made a video on the New York Giants recently, how they set themselves up in a remarkable position to either build around Daniel Jones for the future or potentially take a quarterback at the top of the 2023 NFL draft. The Atlanta Falcons decided to move on from Matt Ryan, but they drafted Drake London, they already had Kyle Pitts, and they're giving Marcus Mariota a shot, and they drafted Desmond Ridder. And this brings us to the Philadelphia Eagles, who originally I would say they quietly made some moves for themselves in this past offseason. But honestly, if I'm being completely objective, this is a team that has been navigating their situation perfectly since last year. I mean, if you remember, there was a point where many Eagles fans wanted Howie Roseman gone for the way he just shipped off Carson Wentz and fired Doug Peterson. Come on, Philadelphia Eagles fans, you guys remember that. But ultimately, he looked like a genius by trading Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts, rolling the dice on Jalen Hurts, which of course the jury is still out on that. But with the capital he got from Carson Wentz, they were able to draft Jordan Davis with their first round pick and landed star wide receiver AJ Brown in a trade with the Tennessee Titans, which if you're a Tennessee Titans fan recently, I understand you might not be excited given what's happened to Treylon Burks in his first practice. Hopefully we'll have an update on that soon for you guys, but that's a different topic for a different day. But in addition to that draft, they were also able to draft a first round talent in Nakobe Dean in the third round. And for the most part, if you ask me, the Philadelphia Eagles are already significantly improved for next year. But they decided, hey, you know what? We have a little bit of cap space left. We could go ahead and try to improve our team marginally better, and there might be a player that wants revenge within this division and the opportunity to play against Daniel Jones twice a year. Because we got word that James Bradberry, the former cornerback for the New York Giants, is signing a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. So to recap, the Philadelphia Eagles were able to bring in AJ Brown on a 4-year, $100 million contract, Hassan Reddick for a 3-year, $45 million contract, James Bradberry on a 1-year, $10 million contract, and Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. That is a hell of an offseason haul if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a lot to be excited about because this team is going to look significantly different next year. Now, here's the funny part. According to Warren Sharp, the Giants have a larger dead cap hit, which is $11.7 million, all just to have James Bradberry to play for their division rival Philadelphia Eagles. Then the Eagles are actually paying him, which is $10 million. As a result, you're seeing memes like this go out, which are absolutely hysterical. I mean, if you're a Giants fan, I know you feel some type of way about this, but really, you didn't have a choice but to take this route. I mean, you had to clean house as soon as possible so that dead money could come off the books as soon as possible so you could eventually rebuild in the future. So for now, the New York Giants are, for lack of a better way of saying it, eating. But what's exciting for Philadelphia Eagles fans is in addition to Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis and bringing back Fletcher Cox, now you have Darius Slay on one side of the field and James Bradberry on the other side of the field. And as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm going to admit, I don't want to play this team twice a year. I don't think it's going to end up well for my favorite team either, just remaining 100% objective. It seems like this deal for James Bradberry was more than just, hey, I want to stay in this division and play against Daniel Jones twice a year. As according to Adam Schefter, he initially had 11 teams reach out and his agents whittled it down to 3 teams, and eventually he chose the Eagles over the others. Now you might be wondering why. This reportedly had more to do with his fit in the Philadelphia Eagles defensive scheme, and this puts him in a great position to cash in next year as he eventually signs a 1-year prove-it deal with a team who has a very solid defense, who will probably make him look a lot better than other teams. And we got details from the contract from Adam Schefter. James Bradberry's 1-year deal with the Eagles will pay him $7.5 million, including $7.25 million guaranteed and another $2.5 million in upside, bringing the total value of the deal to $10 million per source. I mean, needless to say, man, Darius Slay on one side of the field, James Bradberry on the other is absolutely terrifying for opposing teams. And then when you consider the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles were able to just bolster their linebacking unit and their pass rush, and that gives a lot of reason for opposing teams to be terrified. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man, especially if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. How are you feeling right now? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.